Hello, everybody. Welcome to our very favorite time of the year, the game of the year for the Game Awards predictions. I'm your host, Slade, and as usual, I have Byron here with me.
Hey there, for the third year we're doing this, we're predicting most of the awards, because honestly, we don't care about the esports awards, but it just got announced, all the nominees for all the categories except Player's Voice. So let's get into it, because hopefully the website doesn't crash on me while recording this. So the first category announced was Most Anticipated Game of the Year. And Slade, what were the games nominated?
So the games are as follows: Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Pretty stacked category,
Yeah.
I would say. The winner's not a foregone conclusion like it was last time.
Yeah, this is basically, besides maybe Hogwarts Legacy and Resident Evil 4, there's half your Game of the Year lineup for 2023.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot could change. I could see Resi 4 probably getting into that category, even though it's a remake, but neither here nor there. Byron, what do you think is the most anticipated game of next year?
Oh, there's two I'm torn between. I'm torn between Tears of the Kingdom or Starfield, honestly.
Yeah, I think Zelda's hype cycle kind of always goes hand in hand with new Zelda titles.
Yeah.
So I can see that. This is also the follow-up to the game that shook up the formula.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go Zelda in this case scenario. That's not to say that Starfield isn't really anticipated or exciting, but you also got to keep in mind the track record of the companies behind these games, and Bethesda's record as of late has been somewhat spotty.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you, Slade, on this one. I think Tears of the Kingdom is gonna win this one, and maybe it'll win Game of the Year next year. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Next.
All right, so let's talk about a brand new category
Yes.
they shut off this year.
Yeah.
So, video games as of lately have had a lot of really good movie, Netflix shows, television show, a lot of great adaptations.
Yes.
So they made that into an award this year. We'll go over the candidates here. We have Arcane from League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this is a surprisingly stacked lineup.
Yeah, I've heard good things about 4 of the 5. I haven't heard anybody, at least that I know, talk about the Uncharted movie. But,
yeah, that's probably the one stinker that's on here.
Yeah, but my God, man, this is one of the most stacked categories this year. God damn.
See, this is a really tough choice because you have the recency bias with Cyberpunk and the Cuphead show being as good as they are.
Yeah.
But then you look at video games surviving as in movies as a medium, and fucking Sonic is one of the very few examples where that's a thing.
Yeah.
But Arcane was really popular when it came out.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Honestly, even if you don't like League of Legends, Arcane is really good.
Yeah. I have
my money is going to go to Arcane.
You know what? I'm going to be that guy. My money's going on Sonic 2. and my gut feeling is that this category was created so that next year the Mario movie can win it. But they had to create it this year.
Is that so? Maybe Mario was dodging Elden Ring like everyone else was.
That's my tinfoil hat theory. No, but in all honesty, yeah, glad this is now a category considering we are getting a lot better adaptations. Dear God, help us in the mid 2000s and 2010s. Good.
Oh yeah.
Good God. All right,
Byron, what's our next category?
We have Best Debut Indie for the Best Independent Game created by a new indie studio. The nominees are Neon White from Angel Matrix, Norco from Geography of Robots, Stray from Blue 12 Studios, Tunic from the Tunic team, and Vampire Survivors from Punkel. And spoilers, I think we both already know who's going to win this because of a later category, but Stray wins this.
Yeah, I think with Stray being the only Game of the Year candidate,
spoilers, I guess,
kind of gives it away.
Yes.
But there is a pretty excellent games overall. Vampire Survivors is a pretty fantastic game. I've seen a couple of friends play. It seemed like they really enjoyed it. I was surprised how much love Tunic is getting, considering it's a game that's based off Zelda 1. And I feel like it's a somewhat dated game in terms of like content and whatnot, but like it's really good too. So I get the love. It's a very good game, but I think obviously this is going to go Stray.
Yeah.
I think Stray being, it's kind of a 3D platformer, but like everyone loves the concept of playing a cat, and then like
people,
it's so gorgeous too.
Yeah, and people have been modding it. Like I've seen Garfield as a mod for Stray, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, so Byron and I are in agreement. I think we both got Stray winning this one.
Yeah. Alrighty, next category, we're gonna quickly go over this one. Content Creator of the Year. The nominees are Carl Jacobs, Ludwig, Nebelion, R.I.P. I don't think we reported it for the show, but yeah, Nebelion has left Twitter.
Yeah.
No Brew.
Is he still releasing content anymore?
No, he's done.
So he's just done. That's crazy.
Yeah.
One, like possibly the best news source. Just straight up
even
gone.
Actual game journalists were using Nebelion, as he was like the aggregator, but unlike Wario64, who's Mr. Deals, he couldn't like make money off of like whatever. But that's a different combo we can get into at a later point. No Brew and QT Cinderella. I think it's pretty obvious. Congratulations, Ludwig. You will win this category.
Yeah, I feel like Ludwig's honestly kind of been pretty much everywhere at this point.
I will say, though, I could somehow see Nebelion winning this category.
That would be pretty wild.
It would, but
honestly, having a positive impact on the community, it's harder to argue against Nebelion being the ultimate news source than it is for like all these other content creators. But then again, what do I know? Entertainment's pretty good positive impact too.
Yeah.
So
so we both have Ludwig for that one. So we have
back to the video juegos.
Yeah, we have a best multiplayer game. Slade, what are the nominees for this one for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay?
Yeah, so we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's remake. We have Multiversus.
Our favorite game to cover on the channel.
We have Overwatch 2.
A game we have had a lot of controversy happen to that one.
Then we have Splatoon 3 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And to Byron's dismay, Mario Party was left out.
And my dumbass realized, oh yeah, Superstars is a 2021 game.
That's right.
So
I think this is pretty tough. I think this is between either Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Splatoon, or Multiversus.
Really?
I don't see a world where Call of Duty or Overwatch wins this. I think unless they're hella shilling for Activision or Blizzard.
True.
Which I guess that's a possibility. But considering all the controversy that's gone on over there at Blizzard and all the positivity that's surrounded the release of like Multiversus and Splatoon as well.
Multiversus has died at this point, Slade. It's a dead game.
No, it's still a very active game. I think you're crazy. It still gets like 3,000 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, but like from the highs of like hundreds of thousands, though.
Yeah, but like it's different. Like it gets its views when they're like large scale tournaments going on, and the problem is they just don't have a lot of those. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think to me this is between Splatoon and Multiversus. You put a gun to my head, I'm gonna say Multiversus.
You know what? Put a gun to my head. I'm gonna be Mr. Controversy. Overwatch 2.
Straight up. That's how we know this shit is rigged. And straight up, they are shilling for these fucking companies like Blizzard.
Like
there is like zero shot it should win.
But I just think it's going to win. All right.
I guess it would be a Game of the Year or Game Awards show if I didn't complain about it being rigged somehow.
Next up, we have the best sports racing game with the nominees being F1 2020, F1 22, FIFA 23, 2K, NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World. I think this is a pretty easy slam dunk victory, probably for FIFA, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's probably going to win it. The one I'd like to see win it is Ollie Ollie World.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that's very likely.
Yeah, Ollie Ollie World, from what I've heard, is a great game. I just think FIFA, it's like probably the biggest game out of all of these 5 in the category.
I think Gran Turismo's actually got a pretty big shot too.
But there's been some.
I'm with you. I think it's probably going to be FIFA.
Yeah. Well, plus,
if you ask me who should win, my vote's going to Ollie Ollie World.
Same.
Damn it.
And also, Gran Turismo 7 has had some controversy to it. So.
Fair enough.
Next up, we have best sim strategy games focused on real-time turn-based strategy. We have Dune Spice War, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which Slade didn't think came out yet.
That's how irrelevant the game is to me. Straight up, I haven't even heard anybody talking about it whatsoever.
Total War.
We also have Total Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3.
You know what?
So, I'm not going to lie. I found it very surprising that Project Triangle Strategy got cucked.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to win, but I was very surprised to not see it on this list.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. Yeah.
If I had to choose, I'm going to go with Mario Rabbids.
Yeah, I'm going with Mario and Rabbids as well.
But honestly, I could see Victoria or Dune Spice Wars winning it as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, if I had to put money on it, I'm going with Mario every time.
Honestly, this is I don't know. The sim strategy category has always been a weird one to have, but combine 2 different types of categories into one. I don't know. But
all right, we have the honorary Nintendo Award.
Yeah, yeah, the honorary Nintendo Award.
The best family game, where we have 4 Nintendo games and 1 non-Nintendo game. We have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. So,
this one's
I am going to come at you with a hot take, Byron.
What's the hot take?
I think Nintendo Switch Sports wins.
Yeah, but Kirby though.
Yeah, I feel like it should be like Kirby or Splatoon at the very least, but I think they surprise us here.
Yeah. Though Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, from what I've heard, has also been really good. It's one of the best Lego games of all time. But,
so what's your prediction then?
Oh, fuck.
I feel like it's Kirby.
Yeah, I'm going with... I would go with Switch Sports, but my gut says the better game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
It should be the better game, right? Nintendo Switch Sports doesn't even have all of its sports out yet. You know, I changed my mind. That game's losing. It's bad. We're going with Kirby.
All right, hey, on the Kirby train. Watch. When we do the recap in a few weeks, it'll be like, oh yeah, Switch Sports won.
All right, we have Best Fighting Game. We have DNF Duel.
Yep.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R.
Mm-hmm.
King of Fighters 15.
Yeah.
Multiverses. And Sifu.
Sifu's an interesting one to have on there. I thought it was a beat 'em up, but I guess beat 'em ups are technically fighting games in a way.
You're not wrong. And that's what gives me trepidation for picking one of the actual fighting games on this list, because Sifu's really good.
Yeah. But
so the way they've categorized this and they slap Sifu in there makes me think Sifu should probably win this, but if we're actually picking the fighting games on this list, then to me it's Multiverses.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Sifu though.
I'm going Multiverses.
I just think it's really weird that they would put Sifu into this category.
Yeah, God. It's like putting 2 Point Campus in the same category as I think all the other strategy games. I'm not sure about Victoria 3. I don't know if that's more like a turn-based game or like a sim, but
oh yeah.
All right, next up we have best role-playing for the best game designed with rich player characterization, customization, progression, and more. The nominees are Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy.
By the way.
Yeah, shocker. We have a Pokemon game nominated this year that isn't the MOBA. Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Probably one of the toughest categories to predict.
Yeah, honestly, because, like, here's the thing. They kind of do this thing where they give, like, consolation prizes to other games that aren't up for the major award. So, like, for example, let's say, hypothetically, Elden Ring was this year's Game of the Year. Then I very much see Xenoblade Chronicles 3 winning this category.
Is that what you're going with?
No, I think that I have to choose the best game on the list. And even though I don't think Elden Ring should be in this category, it is, and therefore I'm going to choose it.
Yeah, who's ready for that Elden Ring sweep, huh? Because I'm on board the Elden Ring sweep train, baby.
Yeah, so I have to say Elden Ring probably wins this. There's like zero shot I don't even know why Pokemon's on this list. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Legends Arceus and I enjoyed the hell out of my playthrough. I feel like it's very lacking in a lot of areas. Live Alive is pretty much a remake of the original one. So I'm surprised it's even up here for an award. Triangle Strategy, while being pretty decent, is just kind of... Honestly, I'm surprised it's not the strategy or simulator style game because it's essentially a Fire Emblem game. Or like a Crystal Chronicles game.
Yeah. And then
the fact that they put it in role-playing...
Yeah. And then
Xenoblade. It's kind of backwards to me. And then, you have Xenoblade. And Xenoblade's really good. But, like I said, I think they give this one to Elden Ring, unless they do that thing where Elden Ring wins Game of the Year, and then they're like, oh, but Xenoblade's the best JRPG as a consolation or whatever. And I don't know. I don't think they do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Best Action Adventure. We have A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic.
Yeah.
Talk about another loaded category.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, talk about that. Yeah. My gut says Stray on this one.
Yeah, I can see that, honestly. Yeah. I think Stray would be a really fantastic candidate for this. My money, if I had to put money on it, I'm going to go with God of War Ragnarok.
Okay.
But honestly, to me, I think it's between Stray, God of War Ragnarok, and A Plague Tale. It's a 1 in 3 shot for all of them.
Yeah.
I feel like Tunic and Horizon Forbidden West don't do quite enough in this category to really compete with the other 3.
Well, watch Tunic wins. Watch. Just watch.
That'd be stunning.
Next up, we have the best action game for games primarily focused on combat. We have Bayonetta 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which... Okay. Neon White, Sifu, and TMNT, Shredder's Revenge.
So here's what really stuns me. They got Sifu in fighting game and best action game.
Well, yeah, Sifu is a game primarily focused on combat.
Fighting's supposed to be more... I don't know.
Yeah, Sifu being in the fighting game one is a bit weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so weird that they're double dipping on the game like this.
Yeah.
This is actually another pretty tough category. If we ignore the Call of Duty,
yeah, why the hell Call of Duty's on here is beyond me.
Yeah, I guess the Activision shilling. Who knows? Maybe it wins because they're shilling for Active Blizzard super hard.
Fucking shot. No, there's a chance it wins a different award, but maybe. But my gut says Sifu.
I'm gonna go Sifu. I think that TMNT and Bayonetta 3 have outside shots to win.
Yeah.
But I think it should be Sifu here.
Yeah. If it's not Sifu, which is my prediction, I am predicting Sifu, it'll probably go to TMNT. If I had to take a guess on that one.
I'm with you there. I'm with
Oh,
you
let me talk about this one. We have fucking best VR AR game for the best
Oh
games
my
experienced
gosh.
in virtual
So
reality.
we have
we have
After the Fall,
yeah, we have Bone
Among Us
Lab.
VR, baby.
Yeah, fucking Among Us VR is a goddamn thing. We got Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. Among Us is not fucking winning. No
Yes,
shot.
Among Us is winning. I'm sorry. It's more mainstream
No,
than the other
Among
games.
Us
I don't
is
make the
not
rules.
fucking winning. No. My pick is Moss Book 2.
I think Moss Book 2 is probably the most quality game on here.
Yeah.
I'm going with Among Us.
You're going with the meme. Oh, fucking all right then.
That just is like it's the most played game on this list, Byron. Like you can't argue with the facts and logic.
I can because who the fuck plays Among Us anymore?
Lots of people still do. It's actually kind of crazy.
It's not as dead as
Among Us is winning. I'm sorry.
No, Moss Book 2. All right.
I don't make the rules.
All right.
Okay.
So we have innovation in accessibility, recognizing software and/or hardware. Why isn't there a hardware nominee ever in these categories? But I digress. Pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience, which is a great thing, by the way. Great thing. The nominees are As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry. So I think God of War Ragnarok wins this one.
I think it's really close because accessibility has been like a really big thing for Naughty Dog.
Yes.
And I feel like they've won this
true.
award every other time that they've been up for the award.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with The Last of Us Part 1. But honestly, I could see God of War Ragnarok also winning.
Yeah, because not that any of the other developers on here aren't great at accessibility, because they are. They wouldn't be nominated otherwise, which, for those who don't know, the innovation and accessibility category is picked by a different set of judges and people who work with people who have disabilities and stuff. So
yeah.
All right, next up we have Best Community Support, sponsored by Discord. How we're in this call recording this episode.
Oh my gosh, we're Discord shills. Ah!
Discord sponsor us. So the nominees are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. I thought for the lulz...
This is really tough.
Yeah, I thought for the lulz Halo Infinite would get nominated, but...
that's a shit show. Yeah, so to me, this is between 3 games. It's between Destiny 2, No Man's Sky, and shockingly, Fortnite.
Really?
Yes.
I know you've been on the Fortnite train recently. Choo, choo, choo.
But I think I'm going to have to go with No Man's Sky.
Really? You know what? Put me down as a Final Fantasy 14 guy for this one.
You know what? I can see that too because of all the support, especially with everybody moving over from WoW over to it, and then like it's like the most popularly supported MMO out there.
Yeah,
on the market.
I think it's gonna go to Final Fantasy 14, but like any of these,
but I feel like most of that craze was last year. So
yeah.
You know what? You're probably right. Final Fantasy 14 makes a lot of sense. I think that's the official Who the Hell Asked prediction.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the best mobile game. Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal. Don't you all have phones? Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy.
I'm not gonna lie. I have zero fucking clue which one to pick here. I feel like this is between Genshin and fucking Apex.
You know what?
I don't know anything about Marvel Snap, though.
You know what? I'm going to hit you with one. Marvel Snap is like a card game. Honestly, I'm hitting you with that Marvel Snap right there.
Okay.
Like I think recency bias is going to help on this one. Marvel Snap.
Like I said, I have zero clue on like any of these mobile games. I play Genshin Impact, but I don't play a mobile.
So your vote is Genshin.
No, my vote is Tower of Fantasy because Lamau.
Oh, because Robot anime woman.
Sure. Okay, best indie title, something we're both a little bit more familiar with.
Yes.
We have Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic.
Spoilers.
And,
Spoilers. We already know who's gonna win. Congratulations, Stray. You are the winner.
yeah, it sucks that one of these is a Game of the Year candidate and the rest of them aren't.
Yeah.
Kind of really gives it away.
Yeah, I believe historically, and I could be very wrong on this. I did not look this up beforehand. Tell me in the comments below if I'm wrong on this. But typically, I think like 8 or 9 times out of 10, the best indie game winner is in the Game of the Year category. So
yeah, and this was a really good year for indie games overall.
Oh, absolutely! It was an because of obviously like everybody and their grandma in the AAA space running away from Elden Ring, except maybe Sony. It was a great year for indie games. Any of these absolutely deserve the win, but I think Stray's gonna win obviously because it's in the Game of the Year category. So.
Oh yeah.
But any of these are absolutely deserving of the win.
All right, best ongoing game. We have Apex Legends.
It's the same
Destiny
5 fucking games every year.
Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. Pretty tough choice overall. I think I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 14.
LOL Fortnite. I don't know.
Fortnite did drop fucking Goku this year, so
yeah. It's
no, I still have to go
forgot
with
about
Final
it.
Fantasy 14.
Didn't Naruto come to Fortnite this year as well?
That was last year, but yeah.
Yeah, LOL Fortnite. Expect this category to be literally the same next year.
Honestly, yeah.
Which I'm kind of fucking sick. I get why there's a best ongoing, but like.
I think Genshin's got an outside shot because they've released the Sumeru update with 3.0.
Yeah, but Goku.
Yeah, I still have to go with Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
You have Endwalker and all that jazz.
All right.
I think it's a done deal.
Alrighty, next up we have the 6 games for Impact, which this is usually the category we have the least amount of knowledge of. Apologies for that, but these games usually...
I'm not even going to pick.
Yeah.
If I had an outside guess, As Dusk Falls would be mine. But
yeah, the nominees are A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Yeah, I think Dusk Falls wins.
Yeah, but again, don't take our word as gospel. We have zero fights.
Yeah, these games usually fly under our radar anyways.
All right, best performance. We have Ashley Birch for Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge for God of War Ragnarok, Manning Gage for Immortality, and Sunny Soljic for God of War Ragnarok. So this is actually a pretty stacked list.
Yeah,
here.
Again, this is the year of stacked categories, even though gaming wasn't, from an outside perspective, that stacked.
Yeah, I think for me, I can't really tell who's gonna win because I feel like these were all really strong leading roles.
Yeah.
If it were up to me to pick, I would pick Christopher Judge as Kratos for God of War Ragnarok. But I don't think you could go wrong with any of these choices.
Damn it, Slade. I was going to go with Chris. All right. Who the hell asked goes with Christopher Judge as our pick for who we think wins best performance for voice acting, motion, and or performance capture. Next up, best audio design. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. I'm going to throw a wild card. I think Gran Turismo wins.
Yeah, I think in terms of audio, it's really hard to outdo the Gran Turismo series. I think they've won the other few times they were up for the award as well, right?
I believe so.
If I'm not mistaken, previous years?
I believe so,
Yeah,
yes.
so that would make a lot of sense. My prediction if it's not Gran Turismo 7, because I'm with you. I think it's Gran Turismo 7.
Mm-hmm.
It would this is probably the one that they would give off to Call of Duty.
No fucking shot, man. No, like I know no, Call of Duty ain't winning shit this year.
No, this is the Gran Turismo show here,
yeah.
baby. Okay, so best score in music. You have A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I'm not going to try to let my bias get in the way here, but I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 needs to run away with this award.
Like, the music's great, but, like, and this will be the genre bias, I guess. Fucking Metal Hellsinger, though. Banging music.
Yeah, I feel like it should be one of these two games, right? But, like, part of me thinks they're going to give it to, like, Elden Ring or God of War or something.
I'm going with my gut. Metal Hellsinger is going to get...
I'm going with Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay, interesting choices we have here. Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement. We have Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Scorn from EBB Software / Kepler Interactive.
Yeah, pretty stacked category.
Yeah.
I would say. I think this year is actually kind of stacked overall. It's kind of insane.
Damn.
I'm going with Stray.
Really?
Especially considering that, like, it's not just the fact that, like, the art looks, like, really pretty and, like, the game looks gorgeous. Yeah. It's the fact that a very small indie studio were the ones to put it together. That really impresses me.
That's true. My gut, though, says Ragnarok. As it's like,
I won't argue there. I think all of these games look fucking fantastic.
All of these games are gorgeous, and a lot of other gorgeous games that weren't nominated were great. But I think this is one God of War wins. We have
best narrative.
That's right. We have Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality by Half Mermaid.
So I'm going to go with God of War Ragnarok here. I feel like the direction of the God of War series now is a more narrative-driven series than it was before.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's its strongest selling point. I think Elden Ring is more about its show and don't tell kind of narrative.
Elden Ring is not a game I would personally put for best narrative, but...
Yeah,
it's
so I thought it was pretty interesting. To me, this is a 3-horse race between God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, and A Plague Tale.
Yeah.
I just think God of War walks away with it overall.
Yeah, I think we get another God of War victory for this one. But we got the two big categories left, Slade. Besides Player's Voice, which it's not out yet. We're recording this the day the nominees got announced. So Player's Voice ain't gonna be a thing. Maybe we'll predict that on a future episode, but we have Best Game Direction. Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray.
Yeah, so another really tough choice because I think God of War, when it rebooted like all the way back in like 2018.
Yeah.
The reason why it won Best Game Direction that year is because they left the hack and slash genre behind for a more traditional adventure game with a strong narrative focus.
Yeah,
that was never God of War, and it was a huge risk for them to undertake at the time.
Yeah.
But this is a sequel to that game, and I feel like the novelty of that risk isn't around the second time, so...
Yeah.
I would actually probably say Elden Ring walks away with Best Game Direction this time around.
Really?
I feel like the other games on this list, maybe you can make an argument for Stray, don't really do anything groundbreaking that they haven't already done before.
I guess.
Whereas Elden Ring's taking the Soulsborne games to like a new direction with the open world and whatnot.
I would be that guy to probably make the argument for Stray, since it is probably the most unique game on the list.
Yeah, that's the only other game I can see winning outside of Elden Ring on this list right here.
My gut goes with Stray on this one.
I think we're going to be split. I think they go Elden Ring here, but honestly, I can see it either way.
Yeah.
I just don't see God of War, Horizon, or Immortality really competing in this category.
And Slade, it's time, baby. It is time for the big one. It is the game of the year. The nominees are A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, before we get into our thoughts on who wins, what are your thoughts on the list of 6?
I think they got the right 6 games. Byron and I were talking, quite a bit before the nominations went out all this year. And we had some disagreement on some of the games that would be on here. Yeah. The biggest one we disagreed on was Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah,
I said the game was too good to be left off. Byron thought it was too niche and, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't think a Nintendo game would get nominated this year. Nintendo, there's usually the 1 or 2 Sony spots, the indie spot, and the Nintendo spot. And I thought we were going to get the indie game, which I think we got 2 of them, actually.
Yeah, we got 2 of them.
We got 2 of them. But I didn't think we'd get a Nintendo game this year, because Nintendo's output, nothing against Kirby and the Forgotten Land, great game. Nothing against Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Heard it's a great game from everybody that I know that plays it, but it's a relatively weak year for Nintendo. IMO.
Yeah, generally, but not just weak year for Nintendo. I think outside of the
Sony?
top heavy hitters, it was kind of a weak year overall.
Well, except indies. Indies were popping off as always.
Yeah, indies were popping. So I don't know. I felt like it was one of the best 6 games of the year, and glad to see it here. That being said, do I think it's going to win? No, of course not.
No,
I think that this year, the other 5 games are a little bit more stacked in the direction to win these kinds of awards. I just don't see Xenoblade really competing. We're going to go over this game by game, because obviously this is the big category, right? So I am not too familiar with A Plague Tale. I had heard that it's a very good game.
Yeah.
Through lots of word of mouth from either friends or seeing people play it on Twitch.
Yeah.
I think that it's unfortunate this year that it came out, because it came out in what I would consider, at the very top at least, a pretty stacked year overall.
Yeah, if Plague's Tale Requiem came out last year, it'd be a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, I think it'd have a legitimate shot to win last year.
Yeah.
We all know Elden Ring, right? It was the most anticipated game coming into this year.
I actually don't remember if it actually won last year's most anticipated game award.
It did. It absolutely destroyed, from what I heard.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So we all know Elden Ring. It's the most anticipated game of this year.
Yeah.
It was the most hyped game by the community for the last 3 years plus.
Yeah, because
then it delivered on the hype somehow.
Yeah.
And went even further beyond that. From Software puts out, constant bangers. Elden Ring not only was an excellent, Dark Souls, Soulsborne type game, but it surpassed that. It has this open world that's absolutely fun to explore, even though 90% of the time you run into something, you get wrecked immediately. But
yeah.
No, Elden Ring's absolutely incredible. No surprise that it's here. I think we have been memeing pretty much all year about other games being delayed just to avoid being in this category.
Look at Starfield. Look at Breath of the Wild 2, now known as Tears of the Kingdom.
We were memeing that every time a game got delayed, it's because they're dodging Elden Ring. And that's for a very good reason. Okay, then we have God of War Ragnarok, the sequel to the amazing reboot that happened in 2018.
Yep, 2018.
The story continues with Kratos and his son Atreus.
Yep, 2018's Game of the Year award winner.
From what I hear, it's largely the same game. Not necessarily a bad thing, because like I said, the 2018 game was the Game of the Year.
Yeah.
If it's a little bit disappointing that they seem to be lacking innovation. Yeah. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
We have possibly the most unfortunate franchise in the history of video games. Oh my god,
yes. The most unfortunate franchise this side of Advance Wars. It's Horizon. Now, do the games sell great? Yes, they sell 20 times the amount that honestly, the most cursed franchise, Advance Wars, sells. You can't tell me, Slade, Advance Wars isn't the most cursed series.
No, Advance Wars is definitely more cursed, but in terms of like actual games competing to be like extremely quality games, yeah, the Horizon series is really rough. You got Zero Dawn releasing within the same month of Breath of the Wild. Then you got Horizon Forbidden West releasing the same month as Elden Ring. Like, straight up, being overshadowed twice is that's killer to any franchise. But
yeah.
But on the game's merits. It's a pretty fantastic story narrative game. Overall, I heard it isn't as good as Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a little bit of a letdown. But I mean, that's a pretty tall task for any game to live up to.
Yeah.
So like,
we have the indie darling, I would argue the indie darling of the year, Stray. The cat game. Everybody a lot of people love cats. Not everybody, but a lot of people love cats. And the fact you could play as a cat in a 3D platformer, it was a big hit. Hell, I think I mentioned this earlier. People have made mods of it with fucking like other cats, like Garfield. You could play as Garfield in Stray.
That's amazing.
Because of modders, which is crazy.
No, but the game's absolutely gorgeous. It's utterly fantastic. I'm super glad to see that it's getting, the recognition that it deserves and whatnot. Honestly, this is my dark horse candidate to sneak away with Game of the Year. But then we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Byron and I talked about it a little bit a second ago about whether or not it was going to actually be here in this category or not.
Still shocked it's here.
Yeah, really fantastic JRPG. I think the story narrative is surprisingly dark for a Nintendo game, especially with all the stuff that really goes on to the game. I said it has fantastic music, personally, but no, has a lot going for it. A class system that kind of allows any character to be any class, which is really fantastic, leads to a lot of customization. The token JRPG of the year, right?
Yeah, so, a fun fact, first off, 4 of the 6 games on here released within the half of the games this year for Game of the Year released in the first half of the year. Xenoblade barely sneaking past that when it was actually supposed to release, I think, in like September.
Yeah.
Then Plague's Tale Requiem and God of War Ragnarok released in October and November, respectively. Now, there's a funny history with the Game of the Year winner for these. Outside of the very first one, which I believe I have it in my notes somewhere here where it fucking was. But outside of the first game to win TGA's Game of the Year, every other game that has won the category has released within the first half of the year.
That means that recency bias historically has almost never played a factor into the award.
Yeah, the only exception was Dragon Age Inquisition, which was, I believe, I think it was 2013's or 2014's.
And you could actually make an argument that that game was the best game of that year.
Yeah, and it released in November. Witcher 3 released in May. Overwatch released in May. Breath of the Wild released in March. The original God of War released in April. Sekiro released in March. Last of Us Part 2 released in June. And last year's winner, and I know it was my personal Game of the Year last year, It Takes Two released in March. Yeah, and Slade's. Gotta give it to Elden Ring.
I think at this point, Elden Ring is a game that delivered. Like I said, it's one of the most hyped up video games of all times, and it delivered. And it did just deliver. It somehow surpassed its lofty expectations, which is insane and unheard of, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel like, because we had like a little bit of discussion before Byron found that interesting stat.
Yeah.
That recency bias could play a factor with God of War Ragnarok, but historically that has not been the case.
Yeah.
And I think there's just no reality Elden Ring does not walk away with the award, unless they wanted to give a big middle finger to like the entire gaming community, because like straight up, there's no way anybody would take anyone other than Elden Ring, other than maybe Stray, because you got that wholesome factor to kind of go with Stray.
Yeah.
But like, Any of these other games win it, there's going to be riots in the streets.
Now, Slade, now this is not happening, but we need face cam and all if Xenoblade Chronicles 3 wins Game of the Year. I need that. If that somehow happens, I need you to record that reaction on a face cam and I'll play it at the end of our TGA 2022 recap video.
I love Xenoblade Chronicles 3 a lot. I did enjoy my 80 hours with the game. 10 out of 10. Would play it a billion times. Recommend to everybody. I would not put my vote on Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah, but if it wins, I need your reaction.
Yeah, so I think the sensible prediction here is Elden Ring.
Yeah.
But I do think Stray has an outside shot.
Not this year. Not this year. Nothing against Stray.
Obviously, Elden Ring's got like a 99% chance of winning. I think out of all the other games, Stray is my 1%. I feel like God of War, Horizon, A Plague Tale, or Xenoblade, I don't feel like they bring anything new to the table, having anything interesting enough to like really combat Elden Ring's overwhelming quality. I think Stray would be the one game I would look at and be like, yeah, maybe. I could see it. I don't think it happens because, like I said, you don't see games deliver on the hype like Elden Ring does.
Yeah,
it never happens.
Elden Ring is still not that the rest of these aren't very popular, but Elden Ring is still popular. People are still playing it. The speed runs, the challenge runs. It's still a popular Twitch game.
Yeah, not to mention, there's only one of these games getting debates for not just best game of this year, but arguably one of the best games of all time. And the only game getting that kind of like talk is Elden Ring, like just straight up.
Yeah.
I just don't see any of these other games competing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, pour one out for Sonic Frontiers not even being nominated for the music. Not even music. Pour one out.
At least the music.
Yeah,
we should have talked about that.
It didn't even get the music nomination. One of the things Sonic is best known for is its banging music. And
the crazy thing is Sonic Frontiers is actually decent. It's the first decent Sonic game in a long time. But you know what? Yeah, we should talk about games that kind of got cucked overall.
Really, Sonic Frontiers seems to be the only one. IMO.
Well, I mean, you got some category cucks like Triangle Strategy didn't get into the strategy.
Oh
category.
Yeah, that's true as
like
well.
Stuff like that. But yeah, wow, what a crazy year. So those are the official Who the Hell Asked predictions for the Game Awards this year. And I have to say, the only thing that worries me is all the Active Blizzard nominations, considering neither of the games up for the categories they're in, Modern Warfare 2 or Overwatch 2, were particularly like any good or innovative.
Yep.
But hopefully the actual winners of those categories prevail.
Yeah.
And we don't see any funny business.
Yep, hopefully. So that's it for us. For the player's voice, we'll probably cover that when it comes out on an episode of the show. That'll be a separate part of a regular episode of the show. But yeah, so look forward to our game TGA coverage on Friday, December 9th, in a few weeks from now. So stay tuned for that episode and stay tuned to the channel for all the other crazy gaming news that the rest of the year has in store and all that good stuff. This has been Byron.
And don't forget, we're also going to be doing our personal Game of the Years.
Yeah, at the end of the year.
Soon.
Look forward to that as well.
So we're going to be doing that pretty soon as well. So like Byron was saying, this is Slade.
And hope y'all have a good day, good night, and goodbye.